Welcome Northeast Missouri Angler, and here's this week's tip from Kenny Wilson of Wilkey's Crappie Guide Service.
All right, last week out on the water we gave a little tip on what kind of setup we use in the fall winter months with braid going to fluorocarbon leader. Today I'm just going to show you guys how I tie that braid to the fluorocarbon, the knot I used, and then also I'm going to show you how I tie a loop knot to my jig on the fluorocarbon leader. We're going to start here. I hope you guys can see this. This is from the rod. It's the braid. This is today it just happens to be monofilament, but for learning purposes or showing purposes, we used a heavy monofilament what we had laying around to make it easier to see. So take both lines, take the braid and the mono. You take your mono here and you make you a loop holding both lines. Then you take this tag in and go through that loop 4 to 5 times. So it's 2, 3, 4. After you do it 4 times, 5 times, grab hold of the tag line, give it a pull. Okay, then you come down here to the braid here and you do the same thing. Make a little loop, take the tag line through that loop 4 to 5 times. This is looking like it's going to be visible here for everybody.
Yeah, you can really see it on that one.
Okay, after you do it 4 times, pull it tight. Now pull both of them tight. Now granted, we're using such a heavy line here, it's not pulling like it should, but if you do like you normally would do, say I like 20-pound braid Power Pro, and then I like a 12-pound fluorocarbon leader. When you go pull it, the knot will be real nice and tight and everything. Okay, so now I'm just going to tag that tag line, both tag lines, close to the knot as you can, and that's all there is to tying your braid to your fluoro leader there.
Okay.
Anyway, you guys understand the concept there. Now we're going to, I just start out, there's no rhyme or reason to it. I like to start with 6 or 7 feet of leader. That way if you break off a couple times, you've still got room to tie on and not have to retie a leader. Okay, so then how I tie this may be a little difficult, but with this heavy line, but how I tie that loop knot, and I only use a loop knot on mono or fluorocarbon leader. I do not use a loop knot on braid. What happens if you tie a loop knot in braid, it'll break in the loop. So run it through the eye, leave a pretty good amount of tag line there. Grab that tag line and that main line there together. Go like that around, just like you're making just an overhand knot. Just one time, that's all it takes. For crappie, that's all it takes. A crappie will not break that knot. If it's just one time, it will not break it. I promise you, you'll break it in the loop before you break the knot. Then you cut the tag line off close to the knot, and that's it. That's how I tie my loop knot. The key to the loop knot is you don't want your loop knot real long, because then your hook end up catching in your knot. So whenever you make that loop knot, it takes a little practice, but you hold that knot down close when you pull it, so then you make a little bit shorter of a loop. But that's how we rig up this time of year when we're using a leader, mono or fluorocarbon leader. I hope this helps you guys. Get out in the water, give Dennis check Dennis's videos out, Northeast Missouri Angler on YouTube. Or if you want a crappie trip, you can give me a call, Wilkey's Crappie Guide Service, 573-822-8680.